Hello everyone. I hope you're doing well on this Tuesday. And here we go, another Tuesday prayers. And for today I'm thinking of two different words, and the words are wait and wait. But the first is the weight of heaviness, and the second is the wait in the sense of time and waiting on God. Well, the first, the weight, as far as the heaviness goes, that's what's happening for so many people right now. There's a weight of losses right now. The weight of loss of work for some people. The loss of being able to have wedding plans and knowing that those now are needing to be set aside for the time being. There's the loss of company, and perhaps we're each feeling loneliness to new degrees that maybe we haven't experienced in a long time. There's the loss of access to surgery because the surgery, maybe a hip replacement or knee replacement, is not deemed essential right now. Well, these are some of the losses that we have. And there's also, along with the losses, there's the weight of concern that we have for our loved ones. And there's the weight of recognizing the disparity that's becoming apparent once again. The difference between those who have space and place to physically isolate and those who do not. Those who have access to care and those who do not. Those students in our province even who have access to the internet and to enough devices for the students to learn at home, and those who do not have those things. The weight of these differences is also another important weight for us to name. And another weight is recognizing on the global scale the countries and the refugee camps that don't have the same access to care. Those living there don't have the same access to care. No ICU beds. And so if the coronavirus does reach there, the weight of devastation that would hold. There's weight in each of us with our loved ones around the world, being concerned for them, and all of these are heavy, heavy realities. Well, that's the first word of weight, the heaviness. And what can we do with all of that weight is to grieve and to lament. And it's important to do so. And here's the thing. We can grieve, and we ought to learn how to lament these honest prayers to God. And at the same time, God doesn't just leave us in those places either. So Psalm 84 verse 10, and I know I've showed this ring to some people before, and I'm not the only one who has rings like this, but this is Psalm 84 verse 10 in Hebrew, and it's a reminder to me as I wear it on my finger to be still and know that I am God. Psalm 84 was written for a people in crisis and reminding those in crisis that God is the one who's in control, even when we feel like nothing is in control right now. And so when the nations are in uproar, when kingdoms fall and mountains fall into the heart of the sea, like it says in the psalm, there's this invitation to wait. And this is the other word, the time sense of waiting on the Lord. These are words of comfort. This is where Martin Luther got his words and the idea for a mighty fortress is our God. Well, there's another passage that I wanted to look at right now. It wasn't just Psalm 84 that has the words of comfort, but also Isaiah 40. Isaiah 40 starts off with these words, comfort, comfort. My people, says your God, speak tenderly to his people and proclaim to her hard service has been completed. Isaiah 40 was written at a time when people were in exile. And maybe in physical isolation, this might feel like this is a season of exile for us. But it's in the midst of that crisis, in the midst of that isolation and exile, that we also have these words at the end of Isaiah chapter 40. Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They'll mount up on wings as eagles. They'll run and not grow weary. They'll walk and not faint. That's the other wait. Those that wait on the Lord. They'll soar on wings like eagles. Well, what does that look like? On one of our walks, we recently saw a pair of bald eagles, and as a reminder again of this invitation to wait on the Lord. Because what does an eagle do? An eagle doesn't try to just slug it out on their own strength. The whole point of an eagle soaring is that it's being upheld by this force that it can't see. Wind and air. And this is the strength that we're being reminded of in Isaiah 40. That as the eagle is held up, its wings are holding it up in the air that it can't see, but it knows, of course, it's there. It's depending on another strength and being dependent on that. That's an invitation for us to once again wait on the Lord and remind ourselves that He is God and we're not. To remind ourselves that we can't do this in our own strength. To remind ourselves that there is more going on than just the immediate things that we can see right in front of us. We wait on the Lord. Well, here's the amazing thing. In Hebrew and in Greek, I'm sure many of you have heard this before, but in Hebrew and Greek, the word for spirit is the same word for wind and breath and spirit. And so when God is saying, like an eagle that is soaring on this air that it cannot see, there's an invitation for us also to be soaring, to be depending on and waiting on the Lord, whom we can't see, but we're learning to trust. Even in this situation that has the weight, we're learning how to wait. Wait in His strength, wait in hope that He's still in control, to hope that He's the one hearing our prayers and our laments and our cries and our worries. So let's hang on to that together today. Be encouraged. I invite you as you pray to pick out maybe a handful of other people and lift them up in prayer. And imagine what losses they might be experiencing right now and what weight they are carrying. And that as we intercede for them as well, that we would once again hear this invitation that even in our responses, we're not doing this in our own strength. But even that too is only in the way that we're waiting on the Lord. So be encouraged. Let's hold out hope together as we wait. God's peace to you.